Welcome to Fulton at Work. I'm your host, Priscilla Ortega. Today, we are showcasing some Fulton County departments, individuals, and programs that impact their community. On this episode, we'll tell you how county leaders are working to combat the drug and safety issues affecting teens, plus the tips the Emergency Management Agency has so you can be prepared in case of a disaster. The Atlanta Fulton County Emergency Management Agency wants residents to be prepared in their homes and on the road, so the agency is reminding the community what supplies they need to have in case of an emergency. FGTV's Felicia Church has the details.
It's hard to forget the images of the storm named Leon here in the metro area back in February. Residents were stuck in their homes, school children were stranded on buses, and motorists were stuck on the streets and highways trying to get home. The Atlanta Fulton County Emergency Management Agency Director, Matthew Kallmeyer, recommends all residents have a plan in your home and on the road in case we're hit with another storm or emergency. First thing Kallmeyer says is make sure your car is in good working condition, your brakes and tires are in good shape, and that you have plenty of gas in your tank and a survival kit in your trunk.
Well, these are just some of the things that we would suggest you to consider when you actually have your kit. As you can see, starting on this side of the car, we have some water. Some important things to make sure you have is about 72 hours worth of water and food. You never know how long you may be stuck in that vehicle. And the important thing about when you pick your food, make sure you get something that has a pull tab on the top. The worst thing to do is to have a can that you can't get into because you don't have a can opener in your car.
That survival kit should also include blankets, necessary medication, and a few other emergency items in case you get stuck again.
Always have some good flashlights, especially something that you can go ahead and use for identifying hazards. Make sure that if you can, get something you can either hand crank or you actually can take some solar power to power. If not, light sticks are a great thing, last a long time. You can crack them, they'll go ahead and last for about 8 hours depending upon the model that you purchase. One thing that you cannot be without, folks, is a good cell phone charger for your phone.
You can stay informed about possible weather threats by registering for Code Red emergency alerts, and a battery-operated NOAA weather radio in your home can also help keep you informed. If you need more information about emergency preparedness, go to the Atlanta Fulton County Emergency Management website at www.afcema.com. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Felicia Church.
Thank you, Felicia. When we return, how county leaders are helping North Fulton parents protect their children from drugs and violence. Stay with us. Welcome back to Fulton at Work. County leaders listened firsthand from North Fulton parents about issues their children face. The problems include heroin addictions and even sexual assaults. These talks all happened at the latest Crime and Safety Summit.
I just want to just briefly tell my story and my pain.
It was pleas for help like this one that filled the air at the Riverwood International Charter School in Sandy Springs. They were parents of children from all over North Fulton who are personally dealing with the problem of drug addiction.
My second one is afflicted with addiction. His addiction is heroin at this point.
It was a mother from North Fulton, Kate Basha, who came to Chairman John Eves months ago looking for help with the escalating drug and safety problem in North Fulton. She, too, had experienced the issue firsthand with her son and is now an advocate to help other parents facing the same kind of pain.
My son Daniel's currently incarcerated in Central State Prison. He's 23 years old. He was a heroin addict prior to his incarceration, and his story, it's not just about the addiction. He also got caught up in a criminal justice system that we were very ill prepared for. So he's the fallout of what our country's facing right now.
Fulton County District Attorney explained to the audience that more and more of the sexual assault cases in his office involving young people stem from drugs. Paul Howard and the Chief Judge told the audience about the accountability court programs in Superior Court.
We've got drug courts in the court system that we've worked really hard to establish, but we're facing a budget cut.
The program is designed with clinicians and experts that work in the area of substance abuse to work with the individuals and make them accountable, help them work through some barriers, get the treatment that they need, because we ultimately are trying to keep them from repeating their offenses.
Representatives from Fulton County Schools and the Georgia Council on Substance Abuse say more support services are needed for parents dealing with family substance abuse issues, a sentiment understood by Chairman John Eves.
Today, my friends, we're focusing in on what I think is the most precious individuals within our society, and that's our children. And we should not be naive about what they're exposed to.
County leaders promised those in attendance that the conversation would continue about all the issues that were discussed during the summit. Well, when we return, the steps health leaders took that's helping kids with asthma miss fewer days of school. Stay with us. Welcome back to Fulton at Work. Did you know most people do not have any warning signs of having high cholesterol? That's why health professionals say it's important to get it checked. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn begins our Healthline coverage with this story.
Having high cholesterol can lead to heart attacks or stroke. So Medical Director Dr. Matthew McKenna says you need to make sure yours is under control.
The current guidelines, which actually just came out about 3 months ago, recommend that every adult starting at age 21 should be screened for cholesterol. And then, depending on the results, about every 5 years after that.
Dr. McKenna says people 45 years and older need to get their cholesterol checked every year or two. You also need to know the difference between good cholesterol, which helps keep the arteries from getting clogged, and bad cholesterol, which causes blockages in your arteries.
They act independently. They're both important, and they're both important to measure when you see your doctor and get screened.
Your total cholesterol number is not the only concern doctors have. They also want to know your overall risk.
Doctors now have computer software available to them that can tell you what your risk of a heart attack or stroke is, and then adjust medication or any treatment based on those numbers.
Dr. McKenna says good old-fashioned healthy habits like engaging in physical activity every day, having a good diet, and maintaining a proper body weight should keep you from having to take medication. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
Thanks, Lynn. County leaders announced they're making great progress in the fight against asthma. The Fulton Asthma Improvement and Reduction, or FAIR Coalition, is made up of county health leaders, local physicians, educators, and others concerned about the asthma rate. Recently, the coalition started jointly working with Grady Hospital, who has young asthma patients frequently visit the ER, and Medicaid patients who have in-home asthma assessments.
When both the parties started talking, we said, why don't we mutually benefit from this program? And we were able to perform the in-home assessments or conduct these in-home assessments to the clients of Grady ER patients. And we were able to show reduction in more than 90% reduction in school absenteeism among these clients, and also reduction in ER visits for more than 90%. So that was a success story that we're very proud of.
The FAIR Coalition reports 1 in 12 people in the county have asthma, including 25,000 children. The coalition has several tips for people who suffer with asthma, including using a dehumidifier to keep your indoor humidity at or below 50%. For more tips, go to the coalition's website at erinlungs.org. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton at Work. We'll see you next time.